Okay, I'm gonna try something a bit different today. I'm gonna run through my charting process. I'm gonna do the following. Yes, gold. I'll have a little look at NQ, but Bitcoin, Solana, Rose, one of my favorites. Woo's another one of my favorites, and Euro, if I can be bothered. Um, Plan is to run through them and fast forward the process so you can see all the highlights at the end. So enjoy. Okay, so with ES, I'm thinking lower would be better for longs. It's a little bit tricky on long side at the minute. You've got to really wait for a bit more data, I suppose. I'd like to see this level conquered, and I want to see like some breaks of structure. Let me just change the color. Let's go white. So what I'd like to see is these highs taken out and a decent move up above there, some 15-minute candle closes above there, and then a return maybe back into these levels where we've just built up some demand, and then we could look for long potential, maybe at the daily open. and then we could be looking up for those higher prices. At the minute, it's a little bit tricky. You could probably potentially see a little liquidity sweep above there for a short. But ES is quite messy right now. I mean, look at all that. The internal, you want the 15-minute internal to shift bullish before you look for longs. Otherwise, you could be expecting further downside. With a more refined swing range like this, you're looking at potentially, we didn't even hit the 0.5 yesterday, and we're bouncing from this demand zone, but this demand zone here is a lot more attractive to me. I think that's a much nicer zone for a long, but you've got to think, yeah, I think you're okay, but there is a bunch of liquidity that's building up here, I suppose. Like if you come low enough that you're coming down to here and you don't hold this point of control, I think that point of control will be key. If you don't hold that, then, you know, where's that? Yeah, that was the point of control from this range. If you don't hold that, then you're probably coming down a bit further. Let's look. Yeah, you're going to come down to here, and at that point, you may as well go and get the lows, because this is all pretty much mitigated demand here. There's nothing really standing out on these lows, to be honest. Although there has been like some nice choppy price action that's led to breaks of structure. These lows aren't exactly like clean levels, so if you were to break this, I think you come down that low, you may as well go and get the lows, and at that point you're in real danger, to be honest, because you've got this huge gap here. So let's just look at it from the high time frame perspective. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, there's a key level as well. So if you're looking at this from this perspective, if you start to lose that key level there that I've just mentioned in the point of control, if you're not holding above there and you start losing that and you start rejecting, you close some candles below those levels. I'm going to mark that key level there. Add that to the so if you start closing below there, although you are in a nice demand zone, you know, it's showing signs of weakness. It's showing that it's not continuing to break structure on the upside. So what you really want to see when you come into these zones is you want to see like a move down, and then you want to see some supply here taken out and flipped, or you want to see some like breaks of structure so that you're forming that new trend, or you know, potentially like a nice velocity, quick velocity move out. So you know, clear signs demand has stepped into the market. But if that doesn't happen and it does trickle down, you have already tagged major high time frame resistance. You know, you've got this liquidity sweep up here for this decent high, got another one above, and another one just above that, and then some even more resistance here. But you know, you've got to consider we're at very high time frame resistance. Let's stop at the RSI. That's interesting, but you can still see. Yeah, that's weird. That's interesting. It's faded away as we're moving up. But yeah, we've swept liquidity there. So if you do start to lose 4, 5, 30-ish, and you show weakness at that, then it's time to be very careful, because we could easily come down and fill that and go to 43.30, 44.30. So it's a scenario we'd either come down to these levels, hold it, and then go up, or it could be a case of come down, just close some candles, and then go down to these levels really. So that would be the plan there from the high time frame. I'm just going to put a note on that. Yeah, and if we come up high to this zone, then there's a potential short there. Although the invalidation is quite wide, it's, you know, it's a decent-ish level, but I would be aware that this could just keep going, so that's not as pleasant. Let's just create that a bit smaller. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, I'm going to move on to gold next. I'll try to be quicker with this one as well. ES is just what I trade all the time, so it needs a bit more attention. Okay, so with gold, the expectation is it's going to just keep going. I made a note earlier on about pretty much every December all the way back until 2015, so 8 years you've had bullish Decembers in gold. So, you know, you're rolling into December, this could be a great opportunity to start looking at long opportunities over the next month. It is pretty bullish, as you can see. It's basically just consolidating, impulsing, consolidating, impulsing. This one gave a little bit more of a pullback, then impulse, and now it's sort of consolidating and seems to be trying to make a next move. You are coming up against decent resistance, which is this value area high here. So you could potentially look for a bit of a shallow pullback into this 4-hour area, the point of control. I'd want to see some structural changes if I was going to take that. I like the deeper it comes, the better, really. But you know, you've had such great moves there. If you come down into this low region, then maybe a little bit too deep. But coming down into this, certainly interesting. I put an alert on 1998. I think now it's established itself back in the 2000s. Like it hasn't done that since earlier this month, to be fair. So see, 2K seems to be. Let's look at 2K. You can see, look at that, sort of acts a bit like a pivot. which is quite interesting. I think that was... Let's see if it does that historically. Yeah, dances around 2k a fair bit, you can tell. Let's see. Definitely a psychological level. That might be something. You've also got an impulse close right there, so it's just bouncing on that 4-hour impulse close. We've got another 4-hour here, I suppose. It's close, but you have moved out quite well from there. Yeah, you'd want to see a pullback on gold, but you also need to be seeing some structural changes before you'd want to take it, because you are at value very high right now. You have ran into this sort of wicked area, that 4-hour impulse close, so maybe we come down and test these regions here. You can see we are breaking up on the day. You know, we're shifting the internals bullish to a line here, so you can see we shifted bearish yesterday and now we're starting to shift bullish again, so let's call that. Let's call it what it is. So we may not even get this deep, it may already be about to make that move, so a retrace into these regions maybe. Fair bit of volume there. Yeah, look at the way that's moving at the minute. Bit of a 1-hour zone. Just that 4-hour zone. Yeah, that could be an option. Pull back into here and then make the move. Let's set that there, 50% to that move. Anyway, the expectation of gold is to keep moving up. I think it probably holds here because it's hit onto that 50 point there. You did miss out this demand zone here, so if we do pull back and we do start losing these lows, then you potentially got another opportunity down here. You also got point of control there. I don't think it comes this deep without any significant pullback, any significant news, but a pullback that deep. I mean, you got one here, I suppose. Got quite a nice one there, didn't you? Yeah, almost a 786. Pretty much a 786, bang on. Yeah. Yeah, tricky one from gold at the minute. I'd wait and see these regions at least before I consider long. Wouldn't consider even remotely short in this. I'd only be looking for longs, especially into next month as well. So that's basically it on gold. Okay, let's do Bitcoin. So clean chart. Yeah. Okay. Oof. Okay. Right. See you in a minute. Well, Bitcoin is pretty much a mess. I think the most obvious thing, if you come out a little bit more, is you just making that grind here, and you could see that as almost like a bear flag. Like, you're just building so much liquidity here, without checking the data like CVD and things like that. Can't really tell exactly what market participants are doing, whether they're just grinding it up and looking to eat away at resistance and eventually it'll pop, or is it going to pop to the downside? Personally, at the minute, my bet is on the upside, in terms of where my money is and also where the structure is. So it is super messy, but you can see some structure there, and then you've made that pullback into demand. Got a really nice reaction from demand, and it broke this high here, broke some internal structure, some decent internal structure, and since then it's just been chopping. Like, although that move yesterday was pretty crazy, it wasn't majorly significant because it didn't really break anything. So these highs are still sort of there for the taking, in my opinion, albeit they're at major resistance. It's so messy, Bitcoin. It's just not nice. If you start losing these levels here, I'd be a lot more concerned, because not only have you lost like that uptrend there, but you're now coming down into this wick, and the likelihood is you're not really going to bounce from there. You're going to probably go and collect more liquidity down there. You've already filled some of this supply, some of this demand here and here, so I would like to see this low hold where we're at now, for further upside. I wouldn't be so tempted to short it. I got my short in yesterday and I got out, but it's a tricky one because you've got FUD and things like that, and Bitcoin tends to react quite drastically to it, even more so the altcoins. But in my opinion, I think we're probably gonna carry on up. Eventually, maybe we make it more difficult, but you've got December coming up as well, end of the year, so yeah, my idea is still up. I think we go higher. I think we've got some nicer levels above, in the 40s or the 39, 40. We didn't even tap that POC exactly. We're just sort of chewing away. We'll see. Oh, gold. Okay. Okay, so what have we got here? Let's have a look. Yeah, so gold's just hit that 50% mark, pulled back. Taking some liquidity here. See that? Let's go out to this 5 minute. Nice 5 block there. Yep, there it comes. Yeah, you've got the daily VWAP a little bit lower. You're bouncing from this area now, we can see that. Could be nice to come and get the VWAP, I suppose. You've had a nice move up all day, you've got that sort of parabolic going on. at the value area high of the day also. There's daily open. Yeah, daily open and VWAP would be quite nice. Let's see if that comes in. You get the 618 there as well with this move. You know, there is a decent chance we come deeper, so this would be just a scalp if you were going to take that, and it would be fairly aggressive. Now I've just mitigated that 4-hour zone. Yeah, we'll see if that gets the 618. See, we're tapping that quite nicely now. Okay, back to Bitcoin. Yeah, so the idea for Bitcoin really is I honestly expect this to carry on going up unless, you know, you break here. If you start breaking below here, then it becomes very, very sketchy. And if you break below that, I think there's a really good chance you're probably going to retrace most of this move and fill all this in. It probably accelerates and gets really crazy. You know, you may take the liquidity and bounce out of that, but I mean, you've got these previous highs here, but you know, it's too far beyond at this point. Structure-wise, it hasn't really broken anything. Like I said, these highs here haven't really broken anything, so you're still just playing within this, still just playing within here really. That's the thing, that's why I don't really trade Bitcoin at the minute, because it's just so messy. Even though ES can be pretty messy, this is just I don't know how people trade this without, you know, day to day. It's just awful. But anyway, yeah, that's the idea on Bitcoin. I think we still go up unless we lose this level, that key level. Well, this demand zone here that's been tapped a few times, so we do come down. You know, you can imagine it's been gonna get lost. So this key level here, that is very, very important. Yeah, so the idea here is that if we get above that supply there, break some structure, show intent from the market, get that pullback, and then you've got a really nice option there. You know, could enter here, you got an invalidation there, but there's a good chance it does come down, collects daily open, and then goes. I've noticed this a couple of times. It likes to take the initial low, so it doesn't really just bounce clean. It likes to take the initial lows, so this could be a really nice idea here if you're going to look for an entry. Yeah, set an alert here, and I've set an alert here. Yeah, you've got the point of control, you've got the daily open, you've got this 4-hour block, you've got this daily block. Was this a daily block? No, it wasn't. It was 31. Yeah, it was a 1-hour block. Really nice reaction though from the local 618 and the VWAP, of course. So let's just see what happens with that. There's no point diving into this just yet. You don't want to see this. Okay, let's move on. Take a look at salt. Okay, so on the top of the VWAP there are gold. Wasn't able to break above that supply, see that's still holding. So market hasn't shown us just yet. Hasn't shown us anything. Let's see the daily open. Cool to take a trade together. In summary, I don't want to see this low lost. It's not, this down move hasn't really broken anything. It's just internal structure that's been breaking to the downside. You've collected the demand at the absolute extreme. If it breaks below that, then you know that's cause for concern. Then most definitely, because you're now looking like you're shifting that market structure down. You can see that was the last significant low. It was last significant low because it took out this structure here. So now you're shifting down here. If you break that and you close a 4-hour candle, then that now indicates that this is shifting or maybe rolling over and maybe coming down. But in the meantime, probably just expect higher prices. Simple enough. Gold just kicked off, so let's have a look back at that. Yep, there's that SFP I was talking about. Taking a trade on gold. In the worry that I may have just doxed myself, I'm going to cut that out. So what I've done is I've taken a long trade at this SFP, the daily opened, with a simple stop below there. So it's very, very low risk. It may continue down, but it's a decent risk to reward trade, so we'll see what comes off. I'll try to be quicker with this one as well. ES is just what I trade all the time, so it needs a bit more attention. Okay. Oof. So I hedged my woo bags right there, which seems to have been a genius move. I'm happy with that. Getting quite a lot of activity at the minute. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, we took that liquidity right there. Left some of those lows behind, but very, very similar story across the board. You're getting that with Sol as well. Let me just get rid of all that. Also, literally very similar to Bitcoin also. You've got a situation now where you've got major lows, and if those lows get taken, and it could be a case of this whole market's about to turn over, Bitcoin really is going to steer the direction, and you just got a very similar structure. So if you look at Sol, if you look at Woo, you can see this is sort of like, this is your lows here, this is a low. If you're not going to bounce from here and you're not going to carry on up and you're going to roll over, then it looks very bad indeed. And Bitcoin's exactly the same. You've got, it's not quite as obvious, but you've got major lows here that are very important to hold, and Bitcoin seems to be making that move. But you know, you've got major lows, and if lost, it looks a lot worse. I've been going for nearly 2 hours now. I'll take one last look at let's go to it doesn't look so good on a 4-hour wick. Yeah, so far so good on that trade. It's just bouncing a little bit. Let me just check it. Okay, I'm going to finish up on Euro, and that'll be 2 hours I've been recording, so I'll go into the editing and speed it all up and just keep in the key bits of chatter. So let's have a look at euro. Do you know what? Fuck the euro, I can't be arsed with it. Let's look at this one. Nice. This is Rose. Nice altcoin. Very nice, that. Again. Ooh, there's gold. Again, look, you can see very similar sort of look. Everything's really like teetering on the edge. That looks like gold just broke where we were looking. Yeah, broken out of that now, so it was a decent risk. Way of taking. See if it can continue now. See if we've just got a really nice day trade on the books. So Rose is one I've got a fair bit of spot on. I bought here and I saw it come up the last couple of days and didn't take any profits because I want higher prices, so I may consider another bit of accumulation here, and I probably will be very aware of this level as well in case, let's call it a key level. Let's may consider a hedge if we lose that low, and we get a nice opportunity to short. So let's look at this. Yeah, he's starting to break some structure here. That's nice to see. Nice to see you've got some supply here. See, it's broken above that supply now, so if we do come down, you've got potentially a nice long opportunity on that, so I'll definitely be aware of that. Let's look at this. Market, or yeah, I'm gonna watch out for that. I'd like to add to my bags if it comes down into these regions here. The VWAPs come in and get a nice bounce out of there and look for this area first. That's the plan for that one. Okay, I'll just add one there. Let's check on the gold trade. Oh yes, yes. Oh, not that. There we go. Okay, ES making a move also. Right, you can see here we're 200 up on gold. It's nice. Honestly, I'm still looking for higher. That's what ES is doing. ES is now tapping into this supply. You can see we've got a nice bounce out of this one, this demand here. That would have been a nice opportunity potentially, but the risk wasn't that great because, you know, it hasn't really achieved anything, so I'm still looking for this. You know, but you could have just been like, could have just been scalping this little range here between the daily opens. So see where that goes. You know, ooh, that's interesting. Hit to that, didn't really achieve anything. Da, da, da. Yeah, I'm really looking for these highs to be broken first. We're just tapping into resistance right now, so there's definitely no trade here. We're chilling in this for now. Got a really nice reaction from that. You can see where did market participants step in. You see that's a really nice zone right there. Just clean that up a bit. Yeah, so this little range down here really is quite nice. Let's just call it that. So could even be a little compound right there. Might do that, we'll see. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there. I'll do some quick recaps and then I'll take screenshots also. So the idea for ES today is this. Needs to see a break above there, come back down, collect some demand, and then we can be looking up to these prices. So that's the idea here. Maybe something like that. Could even come as deep as here. Okay, that's that one. Okay, I'll post that in the crew. Gold, we took this trade. Sorry it's so messy, but we took this trade here. Oh, we're looking up to these highs in the day, really. Crazy 17R. That's the idea anyway. Bitcoin. Salt, similar story. Potentially include that. Rose. Yeah, Rose. I like this bounce, didn't I? Okay, I lost my tunes. Never mind. I'm finishing up now anyway, so let's just finish up on Woo. Let's see, yes, in the PDQ. Almost identical to the others. And that was it, wasn't it? Okay. I will post all of them in the group, and I will update you on my gold trade. See, we're getting a pullback now, so I may be able to get stopped out. May have been a poor trade right there, or there could be an option for an entry. So I'll trade that and let you know how I get on. And thanks for watching. I'm gonna go and edit this now. Just crossed the 2 hour mark, so I'll try and get it distilled or condense it down. So yeah, that'll do. Bye bye.